Season 2 of Small Town Spotlight, sponsored by Charlie Clark Auto Group.
KTSM Small Town Spotlight series rolls on this week. We are live on location from Sunset Heights at this historic district, ready to bring you all the sights and sounds you've come to expect on Wednesdays. And of course, it's all made possible from Charlie Clark Nissan. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to this special edition of KTSM 9 News. I'm Monica Cortez. I love this, Andy. We have such incredible, talented artists. And look at the house we're in. This is just a gorgeous house.
That's right. We're coming live to you from Sunset Parlor. We're doing Small Town Spotlight a little bit early this week, 4 p.m. That's because coming up at 6 o'clock, we're honoring all the heroes in the 80th anniversary of D-Day with a very, very special program. So you'll definitely want to tune into that. That's tonight at 6. But as for us here at 4 o'clock, we're rolling on with our Small Town Spotlight and really excited to be here. This is a historic neighborhood area, just community with just so much rich history and beautiful artwork, like you said.
I know, it was a little nostalgic for us as we were rolling through here because we got to pass our old building.
That's right.
I loved that location so much. And you know what, speaking of history, Andy, we are definitely going to talk about all of the stuff that when we look back at it, how the community came to be right here in El Paso. In fact, we're also going to be taking a look at the entertainment and unique finds, along with interviewing the owner of Sunset Heights Parlor and the Sunset Heights Association. Certainly a lot to dive into here this afternoon. But before we get to all of that, let's go ahead and talk about how hot it is today. This is the start of our first heat wave in El Paso, and it sure is coming in with a bang. So
yeah, hot today, but I heard this isn't even going to be the worst of it. The worst of it is still yet to come, not only this week, but if you take a look at our 9-day forecast, which is exclusive to KTSM, it actually extends on into next week. And we're talking not just 100 degrees, we're talking about well over 100 degrees as you take a look.
105, actually.
Look at that.
Yeah.
107, is that tomorrow?
Yes, it looks like it's tomorrow. And you know what, Andy? So whenever we have a heat advisory, that's because our temperatures are above 105 degrees. Overnight lows are above 75 degrees, and that can definitely get very dangerous for anyone who has to be outdoors for long periods of time. And that includes puppies, dogs, cats, anything that is outdoors. Bring them in this week.
Hey, I get it that it's June now and it's supposed to be hot, but it is still very early June. And I felt like when we got into that stretch of 100-degree days, I know we did 70 plus last year, 30 plus 105 and above. I feel like a lot of that happened towards the end of June. We started that streak into June. I just remember just Wednesdays being the hottest day.
I still remember thinking, wow, this is going to be a mild summer. And then we got hit with 113 degrees one day.
Yeah. We're going to get to our third member of our crew today, Tirza Ortiz, who's going to be filling in for Robert today. But first, if you're just joining us, we're live on location here from Sunset Heights in this very special edition of Small Town Spotlights. I think about the beautiful artwork when I think about, you know, Sunset Heights, this area, this neighborhood. That's what I think about.
I do too. And wait, is that Miss Tirza Ortiz? Hello.
Hi.
I saw you sneaking in a little bit.
Just a little bit. Came from behind y'all, but hello.
Hello.
Hi.
From the outdoors, y'all.
Was it really bad?
It is hot.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
incredibly hot. We are under a heat advisory right now. I heard y'all talking about it a little bit. I sure felt it. And you know what? It's not going to go away anytime soon. We're going to see those triple-digit heats all weekend long. Little relief getting into the rest of our work week, but not too much. Even worse than the heat, y'all. I know it's such a dad saying. It's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity.
For sure.
I love your dad.
Yeah, my dad says it. We will be feeling that humid heat as storms come into the borderland, but I'll have a lot more in our full 9-day forecast.
Aw, thank you so much, Tirza. And going back to the historic houses that you were talking about, I feel like there's so much rich history there. In fact, we kind of want to get to it and check this out.
Hello, I'm Stefan. I'm a resident here of Sunset Heights, and you know, Sunset Heights is a very important neighborhood for all of El Paso. It's been known as maybe like a gathering place, even a thoroughfare. You may have even parked in my front yard going to a Chihuahuas or a Locos game. So it's those reasons that make Sunset Heights an important, you know, socialization or maybe gathering place for all of El Pasoans, not just the residents. Let's go inside. This house was built in 1920 towards the end of the Mexican Revolution, and if you think about that, that's not even just more than 100 years away. Our history here in El Paso is so close to us. We moved here in 2012 because at that time El Paso was undergoing a transformation with the 2012 bond referendum that was going to change our downtown and the rest of El Paso. We took a leap of faith and we found nothing but great things. Since then, the Chihuahuas have come, the Locos have come. We have a brand new children's museum, La Nube, downtown. And so many great things for families here in Sunset Heights to be able to connect to downtown as well as all of El Paso. And to understand Sunset Heights, it's important to understand our history, obviously, and preservation, but it's very important to also look forward to the future projects that are coming and ensure that we have a vibrant future for generations to come, but also while preserving our historic past. Imagine, for example, an awesome park over the freeway with splash pads, soccer fields, food trucks. Imagine a better running freeway system throughout downtown with less traffic. Imagine safer and better connectivity from Sunset Heights to downtown. These are all projects that would benefit someone living in any neighborhood in El Paso. And here in Sunset Heights, we have many families that support these types of ideas and initiatives to essentially improve El Chuco as a whole. Thank you to our friends at KTSM and Charlie Clark for giving us an opportunity to showcase our beautiful neighborhood. And with that, we'd just like everybody in El Paso to feel like they too can be a friend of Sunset Heights. Thank you.
A really cool look inside there at one of these historic houses. Also, when you think about these houses, I love the preservation that he talked about, the work that it takes, because a lot of these houses, I mean, they're well over 100 years old. So the work that has gone into them to make sure that they have preserved what is here and also the history behind it, really, really cool to see.
I know, I love it. And I love that he mentioned the freeways right there. Everything that is happening in downtown is right here. And when I came into this house, this Sunset Parlor, it was just gorgeous. It is gorgeous, just so rich in history. But we still have a lot more to get to. Right now, we do want to toss it over to the news of the day.
Yeah, let's send it over to Skylar Soto, who's back in our studio there in West El Paso with our top stories. Hey there, Skylar.
Hi, Andy and Monica. Well, KTSM is your election headquarters, and former county manager Fernando Macias has been declared the unofficial winner in a tight race in the Democratic primary for district attorney in Doña Ana County. Macias had 34% of the vote, or 3,366 votes, to edge out Shahar Azad Booth, who had 33%, or 3,286 votes. And 80 votes is what separated the two candidates. And according to the New Mexico Secretary of State's office, all 190 precincts in Doña Ana County have fully reported their results. Now, results remain unofficial until the vote totals are canvassed later this month. Well, the heat is about to get hotter in the borderland. With only 16 days away from the official start of summer, we can already expect temperatures to reach as high as 106 degrees here in El Paso. The National Weather Service in El Paso reports that approximately 2 million people, including residents of Ciudad Juarez, are under a heat advisory. And the same goes for your pets. Experts warn that asphalt will get over 120 degrees, and El Paso Electric recommends that it's best to run electric appliances in the afternoon hours. And the City of El Paso and Office of Emergency Management are activating the community's cooling centers beginning tomorrow on Wednesday. Now, city and emergency officials are once again working to support the community, particularly our senior residents, to stay as cool and find solutions to avoid heat-related illnesses. The public is asked to check on their elderly neighbors, friends, and family who may be at risk. And there are 5 centers available from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the community can also visit the city's public libraries. Officials also urge residents to keep their pets safe. And for a list of centers and library hours, go to our website at ktsm.com. Well, the time now is 4:09, and let's go ahead and take a look at traffic right now through our TxDOT traffic cameras. This is I-10 and Wrestler. Traffic seems to be moving smooth in this area, but let's see if we can get another look around town. As we inch into that rush hour, we want to make sure we're staying alert and aware, especially if we have any evening plans. Make sure we're leaving with enough time and we're keeping an eye out for other drivers around you. This is I-10 and Mesa, same story here. Traffic seems to be moving pretty clear. No emergency vehicles that we can see at the moment. Well, that was a look at your top stories for today. Let's send things over back to Andy Morgan and Monica Cortez, who are live at Sunset Heights for our Small Town Spotlight. Hi there.
Thank you so much, Skylar. Yeah, and you know what? If you're looking for a historic and vibrant place, the Sunset Parlor is the place to be. I mean, behind us, you can just see the beautiful dancer, really showing us and performing for us. And I just feel like this is what this is all about.
Yeah.
Very artsy, very historic.
So many different events that are kind of held here at this venue and services that you can do. We actually had a chance to meet with the owners. It's a father-daughter duo who had a vision and were able to make their dreams come true, but even more so, they're able to share it with everyone else.
Aww. This house was built in 1903. It was in really bad condition, but about 4 years ago, it came up for sale, and we bought it. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but the proximity to my home, I wanted to make it something that my family and I could use in sort of an artistic, cultural purpose.
That's when contractors and architects were called and reconstruction began.
We started envisioning a place with a beautiful stage that we could have concerts, art shows, poetry readings.
I wanted to teach yoga, dance, meditation, healthy lifestyle, wellness, as well as have an entertainment venue that people could rent out and that we could produce shows in.
Meet Hal and Lalenia, the father-daughter duo who brought their dreams to life, creating something beautiful for the Sun City on the outskirts of a historical designation.
El Paso seems to me has always been searching for their identity. And when they walk into this building and they see the art and see what we've done here and see how all the local artisans created something so beautiful, it makes them proud to be from El Paso, because we have a showcase of multi-talented artists that come here and have a venue to perform.
And if you visit the Sunset Parlor, you'll hear music, join classes, and embrace a cultural experience of the arts.
The art is local artists. We right now have Mauricio Mora, Carmen Navar, Padilla. So it's all local artists, and it's always going to be local artists. The motto I had going through this whole process was, may there be beauty everywhere you look. So if you look around, there are hints of that 1920s, 1911 kind of undertone with the tin ceilings, with the golds, with the fixtures, the light fixtures, with the chandeliers.
That's not all. The Sunset Parlor can be used for many other things.
So if somebody wants to rent it for their baby shower, their quinceañera, their birthday party, a meeting, a company meeting, that's also what it's for. So people can rent it and kind of get out of their office space or the typical meeting place to have an event that's elevated and that's vibrant. So it's just fun events to come to that feed your mind, body, spirit.
And joining us now is Lalenia Marquez herself. Thank you so much for joining us. My first question for you is why it's called Sunset Parlor, because I know a lot of thought went into this behind it. Obviously, the Sunset Heights neighborhood probably had a little something to do with that.
Definitely. Well, it's in Sunset Heights, so we have the sunset, and we get beautiful sunsets here and sunrises. But so sunset from Sunset Heights, and then Parlor. The Parlor is a meeting place, a place for people to come together and entertain each other. So it's an entertainment spot for people to come together and enjoy Sunset Heights and the city.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of which, what kind of events do you guys have planned out this summer?
We have so many events. We have we have an event this weekend. It's about manifesting your heart's desire. And then we have the Mark and the El Chuco City Band coming in on June 14th. We have Paint Your Inner Child paint parties. We have Tango Night. And then we have this amazing event that happens every month. It's called the El Paso Art of Storytelling. And we have the beautiful Lavish that you see dancing behind us, performing at that event, as well as some aerial artists, and of course, storytelling from the El Paso Art of Storytelling. So we have a lot of different events, and we do the polar plunges here once a month. So when it's hot this summer, you definitely want to cool down with the polar plunge. And aside from the events, I teach classes. Jessica, our yogi, she also teaches classes. She's behind you as well. And we teach yoga to keep your mind, body, spirit healthy, vibrant, and alive.
I'm interested in the polar plunge right about now, that's for sure. It's so hot outside. Real quick, it seems like this place just radiates health and wellness. In terms of meditation, something, and I know Monica mentioned this too, I've never done it, I've never done yoga, anything like this. How can something like that be beneficial for people?
Well, both yoga and meditation and the polar plunge help your telomeres. So telomeres are part of your genes, and when we get stressed out, they start fraying like your split ends. So when you meditate and when you do yoga and when you get into that rest and restore within your system, those telomeres start to protect themselves. They start to create like a protective coating around them, and then you start getting the anti-aging benefits on all of your nerve systems through your whole DNA process. So in your mind, through your body, through your joints, everywhere through your body, you start feeling younger, you start feeling more vibrant, and you start thinking more clear and focused, and you just start feeling better. Life gets more fun.
I feel like I just found the fountain of youth right here in El Paso, right here at Sunset Parlor. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so I actually have a summer special right now. So if you go to sunsetparlor.com and put in your email address, you will get a coupon to save $120 on classes this summer. So please, sunsetparlor.com. Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
All right, we still have much more to get to on this special edition of Small Town Spotlight. We're live at Sunset Heights here at Sunset Parlor. Stay with us.
Well, good afternoon, Borderland. It is beautiful, it is sunny, and we are right outside of Sunset Parlor in Sunset Heights, a beloved community in El Paso. Now, it is incredibly hot, and I'll get to what the rest of the week has in store, but it wouldn't be Small Town Spotlights without a little... I am joined with our wonderful Bobby with Charlie Clark Automotive Group. Bobby,
Yes,
how are
ma'am.
you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. It's a beautiful day outside, just like you said. It's gorgeous out here.
It's beautiful and it is hot, but you know what is also hot? These cars that you brought.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And you know
yes.
what? Let's get a feel for it.
Definitely, definitely. All right, so what do you want to start with?
Let's start with this.
All right.
Right here,
This
go
is a-
ahead and share a little bit with
All
me.
right. This is a 2024 Nissan Sentra SR. This one's going to be our sport model. Has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It gets up to 40 miles per gallon.
Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am. We have it here at Charlie Clark Nissan. Orale. You're going to have your leather interior. You're going to have your fuel economy. What else can you ask for on this hot day?
What more can
Air
you want?
conditioning,
Air
yes.
conditioning, it
Yes.
has it all. And talking about air conditioning, if you're not on AC right now, you're going to want to be. It is going to be triple digits all through the weekend. We're going to see some storm chances coming in. Go ahead and take a look at your 9-day forecast. Thunderstorms starting tomorrow, and we are under a heat advisory, El Paso, all the way up until Friday. So make sure you're staying cool. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're checking on your friends and your family because it is going to be hot. We are going to see a little bit of relief as we get into our Monday and our Tuesday. But guess what? That extreme heat is going to come right back. We're seeing 104, 105, incredibly hot heat. So just be careful, be safe, stay hydrated. Bobby,
Yes.
you and I are actually going to go inside.
Let's go.
And we're going to get active.
I love it.
And we're going to get relaxed.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
go ahead and stay tuned. Bobby and I are going to be right back. You're watching Small Town Spotlight.
Yeah.
Them 9 Sports with Sam Guzman. Sponsored by Glasheen Vyas and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
Got a good game going down tonight in San Antonio, Texas. El Paso Locomotive FC will take on San Antonio FC at Toyota Field. Now, the last time these two clubs met, things got chippy to say the least. We had fellas pushing, shoving, tugging, tussling and trash talking mid-match. Will that happen again tonight? I am not too sure. We will have to wait and see. But what I do know is that this is the first Copa Tejas clash of the 2024 USL Championship season. The Locomotive head into this game looking to take down the two-time defending Copa Tejas champs. Tonight's game also marks Justin Dillon's return to San Antonio to take on his former club. He was an impact player for SAFC the past 3 seasons, but the past is in the past for Dillon. He's ready to return to San Antonio and is hoping to leave there with 3 points for El Paso.
It's a Copa Tejas game. It's a bit of a rivalry match, so I know personally I want to perform in front of all those great fans that have done a wonderful job supporting me over the years, but now I'm wearing these colors, so I want to be able to represent our club and play for the city that I'm currently in.
Dillon is going to need to step up tonight as the Locos will be without a trio of important players tonight. Leading goal scorer Armando Moreno, starting goalkeeper Jamali Waite, and forward Joaquin Rivas are all out on international duty for World Cup qualifying this week. Expect to see a different starting lineup tonight for the Locos. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. This game will air on the CBS Sports Network. Over at Southwest University Park, the El Paso Chihuahuas will take on the Las Vegas Aviators tonight. It's game 2 of the 6-game series. Last night, the Chihuahuas were handed a 3-1 loss by the Aviators. The Chihuahuas are hoping to bounce back tonight. First pitch is at 6:35 p.m. at Southwest University Park. A total of 10 UTEP track and field athletes will be performing inside one of the greatest sports venues in the world. That venue being the historic Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon. It's the mecca of track and field and is the home of this year's NCAA Outdoor Track and Field National Championships. The first UTEP minor to step foot on Hayward Field this week will be Jordani Woodley. The product out of Jamaica will run in the men's 110-meter hurdles prelims tonight. Woodley heads into the national championships with a ton of confidence. At the West Region first round, Woodley finished 4th overall with a season-best 13:29 time in the quarterfinals. That was way more than enough for Woodley to secure his ticket to the NCAA championships for the first time in his career.
It's a dream come true, you know, and I'm thanking God, you know, for blessing me with this opportunity. You know, it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling, you know, just to make it to national championships. And I feel like if I stay focused, you know, and just run my own race, you know, I think, you know, there's something in store.
Woodley will run in Heat 3, Lane 4 of the 110-meter hurdle semifinals tonight. The event is set to begin at 6:32 p.m. You can watch the national championships on ESPN2. Over to some college hoops. A familiar face is returning to the New Mexico State men's basketball team's coaching staff. The team announced Tuesday that Preston Laird will be joining Jason Hooden's staff as an assistant coach. Now, this will be his second stint at NMSU. Laird spent 4 seasons with the Aggies from 2012 to 2016 on Marvin Menzies' staff. During that time, Laird helped NMSU reached 3 NCAA tournaments. He will now come to Las Cruces after he spent the past 5 seasons with the Little Rock Trojans as an assistant coach. Now, that wraps up our sports segment. We'll send things back to Andy and Monica, who continue our small town spotlight coverage.
That's right, Sam. Thank you very much for that. If you're just joining us, as Sam mentioned, we are live on location from Sunset Heights as part of our Small Town Spotlight series. We're actually live on location here from the Sunset Parlor. Got a little bit of a sneak peek into all the fun things happening here. A lot of health and wellness, and of course, just absolute beautiful scenery. I wish everyone could see the windows right here and the overlook that you see of downtown El Paso.
It's been so great. We've had live performances. It's been just so magical. We still have a lot more to share with you right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Thanks for watching KTSM 9 News. Welcome back. We're live here in the Sunset Heights area of West El Paso for this special edition of Small Town Spotlight at 4. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. I'm Monica Cortez.
And I'm Andy Morgan. We are shining a spotlight on one of 9 historic districts here in the city of El Paso. Sunset Heights actually got its name all the way back in 1901 when the El Paso Herald had a naming contest for the neighborhood, and I'd imagine they got the idea for the name, of course, for its elevated position, kind of overlooking the freeway, downtown El Paso, and of course, when you're in that elevated position, you got the sunset to the east, you got the sunset to the west, absolutely gorgeous. And in our last half hour, we talked a lot about the preservation that went into some of these houses that are over a century old. Not only is it protecting some of those historic houses and buildings, that sort of thing, but it's also making sure that the actual history is actually preserved as well.
Yeah, and you know, we spoke with the owner of this parlor not too long ago, and she was just talking about how gorgeous the sunset is in this particular area where you see it, and it just illuminates this place. And you know, talking a little bit about that, of course, we are talking about the Neighborhood Improvement Association, and they really do love this neighborhood, and obviously we all know why, and they do their best to preserve it. So here's a look at the incredible Sunset Heights. Check it out.
Well, we're definitely one of the original core neighborhoods of El Paso, especially the pre-1925 El Paso urban core. Trost, who's one of the iconic architects of El Paso, lived in this neighborhood. His house is up there in the corner of Hawthorne and Yandell. So yeah, very distinctive architect, and it's been protected due to the city's designation of Sunset Heights as a historical district. A lot of the homes are you know, because we're on that hill. Certain characteristics are the slopes of the roof, some of the ornamentation, where you can see the edges of the bricks. Like on that house, you have some, I don't know if it's called molding or what you would call it, all around the edges there. Well, for me, it's the people. I mean, I think that's the distinguishing characteristic of any great neighborhood, right? Great cities are made up of great neighborhoods. In Sunset Heights, we have a very high diversity of neighbors. So we have people with low incomes, we have people with very high incomes, we have people with very exalted job descriptions and titles, we have famous people. It's like a village. If you went to a village, this is what it would look like. So it's a very vibrant area, very walkable, that we really appreciate. And so one of the things the Neighborhood Association tries to do is to highlight those small businesses, the artists that are here, and do events. So having a neighborhood association is a great way of advocating at city council and other levels of government for things that your neighborhood needs.
Everything you said there. And of course, we are joined live now by Cito Negron. Thank you so much, President of the Association Improvement and Neighborhood. And so tell us, how long has this association been around?
Well, it's been around since the mid-'80s, and interestingly enough, one of the reasons why it was started was because of development issues. I found an article from Texas Monthly, I think it was 1985, and talked about the formation of the historic district and the values folks had.
I spoke about preserving that history, and that, of course, is what this association is all about. But in that, it just seems like not only you, but everyone in the association and everyone who's in this neighborhood, in this community, it seems like this place just means so much to them, and it goes much more than whether it be, you know, their home or the place they live. It's something more than that.
Well, yeah, you know, first of all, this segment, I love the name of it, Small Towns. Like Sunset Heights really is like a village, right? We have a hard boundary of I-10, we have Schuster Street, and then we have Mesa Street. So it very defines this neighborhood in a way that a lot of other neighborhoods don't have those hard boundaries. And it's also, you know, it's just a very diverse neighborhood. People love it for the diversity. We have all incomes, we have all types of ages, we have all of the demographics, right? We're right next to downtown, we're right next to the university, so there's a university influence. We're right, you know, close to the border, so we have, you know, that influence like we have in all of El Paso, but it's very strong in Sunset Heights, similar to the way it is in some of the neighborhoods south of the freeway. And of course, with that comes challenges. We're trying to preserve the neighborhood, but we're also trying to improve it. That's in our name. Yeah. So we're not adverse to change, but we want to make sure that the change not only benefits the homeowners and the residents of this neighborhood who have some privilege, but also the residents of the neighborhood who are here because the rents were low, because they're students and going to UTEP, because they like the proximity to downtown and the jobs and to the transportation network. So we're trying hard to balance all those things in order to improve the neighborhood.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Cito, for being here with us and for enlightening us with that.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
All right, Small Town Spotlight. It rolls on right after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Small Town Spotlight. Hopefully you've been enjoying everything Sunset Heights has to offer. We're still at Sunset Parlor, just a little bit cooler. Bobby and I moved from outside to inside, and now we're gonna get relaxing. I'm with the wonderful Jessica East, an instructor here at Sunset Parlor, as well as our very own Bobby Bone. And y'all, we are doing yoga today. Jessica, can you teach us a little bit about the benefits of yoga while you teach us some easy poses that our viewers could do at home?
Definitely, and thank you for joining us at our wonderful location. So yes, the benefits of yoga, as the majority of people know, it's more physicality that people are aware of, but the main benefit for yoga is breath work. And if you take anything from yoga, taking the breath work and applying it into your everyday life, it helps you maintain or regulate your parasympathetic nervous system, essentially. You'll have to tap into that when you do the polar plunge.
Oh gosh.
It will help you regulate your nervous system, essentially. But other benefits are balance, mobility, focus, alignment, just to help us move easier as human beings, our spine, our joints. A lot of these things get overlooked, and yoga is just a perfect complement to everyday life.
It sounds great. Can we see one quick pose that our viewers could try at home that's super easy?
Definitely. We're going to do a tree pose, which everybody can join in at home. It's a balance pose, and basically you're going to root your weight into, or transfer your weight into one foot, and the opposite leg is going to either pivot the heel towards your ankle, your toe can be on the floor, or you can bring it up to the shin, or eventually up to your inner thigh.
Oof, we'll leave that to you.
I encourage everybody to balance every day. You can do this while you wash dishes, while you do brush your teeth. But yes, this is a simple movement that you can incorporate everyday life.
Well, while we're doing the tree pose, let me go ahead and give you a brief rundown of our 9-day forecast. Still in position here, you'll have to believe me while you're watching at home. We're gonna have triple-digit heat coming in, as well as storm systems moving into our system. El Paso, we are under a heat advisory, so make sure you're staying cool. Make sure you're checking in on your friends and your family. We should expect to normalize as we get into our Monday and our Tuesday, but that extreme heat is gonna go right back up. And back here, we are still in our tree pose. Bobby, I'm looking at you through my peripheral. And we're gonna see who holds it longer, but we'll be back with more Small Town Spotlight. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to this edition of Small Town Spotlight. We are live on location from the Sunset Heights neighborhood. And Monica, this area has a very distinct vibe, and one that you really don't find anywhere else.
No, I mean, just to give you a huge example is, look at the beautiful talent and the canvases that we have. Some of these are hand painted by some locals. We also have a performer behind us, and it's just so much going on in this area.
That's right.
And so, of course, we have KTSM 9 News' Crystal Oblinger takes us on a tour of two places that are similar but unique in very different ways. I can't wait for you to see it. Check it out.
Whether you're looking for a classic cappuccino or something pink and unique, Amo Cafe at the corner of Yandell and Kansas and Savage Goods on Oregon and Nevada have something special to offer you in the Sunset Heights area.
Well, over 10 years ago now at the downtown farmers market, we were just a little home bakery. My sister-in-law, my husband, and I, we love to bake, and we just really wanted to create something special for El Paso.
Savage and her family began taking at-home orders shortly after, getting huge support from a community they wanted to give back to.
About 4 years into that, we thought, you know what we would really love is to do more than just food, but to create like a really welcoming community space in our city, just a neighborhood place where we know your name, we know your drink, you can really come and feel super welcome. It's been over 6 years now since we finally opened our doors to the brick and mortar.
And their menu is extensive, from donuts to tacos to seasonal items, but you can still pick up a regular cup of joe on the go in a place aiming to create a chill space for everyone who walks through their doors.
There are so many really special neighborhoods in the city, but Sunset Heights just has something unspoken, just the historic nature of it, but also just a really tight, vibrant community. We also love that it's so close to downtown. We love that it's a pass-through for a lot of people coming from different parts of the city. It's just got this really special feel that you can't find anywhere else.
And just a few blocks away is Amo Cafe, and the first thing you'll notice is pink, pink, pink.
So Amo Cafe, we've been open for a year. This month is our 1-year anniversary. We're trying to do a very Instagrammable cafe that's here in El Paso, something new, something that you can come and meet your friends here, have a coffee, lemonade.
Every square inch of the space is decorated with shutterbugs in mind, ready for you and your friends to snap a photo.
To be centrally located so that it could be accessible to pretty much everyone in El Paso. We didn't want to be focused on just one side of town where we're just far east side or west side. We just wanted to be so that we would be centrally located for everybody. So we thought this would be the perfect spot.
Even the food is designed to mirror the decor, but it's not just cute, it's also delicious.
We try to change the decor so that when you do come, and you come a month later, there's new things, new places for you to take pictures with your friends. Also, we have an event center that we're going to be opening in the near future. In just a couple of months, we should have it ready, which would be the same thing. It's going to be, a pink decor, again, so that you can take as many pictures as you can.
So no matter what you're in the mood for, Amo Cafe and Savage Goods can meet your needs. Adding to the vibrant and historic community they've decided to call home. Reporting in Sunset Heights, Crystal Oblinger, KTSM 9 News.
I've been to a few of these places, and I can tell you it's like big city vibes is how I see it here in downtown El Paso, and I can't believe we have things like this in our own hometown.
I've never said no to a pastry.
No, and even the Instagrammable, facades that you have
So
there.
much pink.
Yes, I love it. I can't wait to go.
All right, we're going to have one last check of your forecast with Tirza coming up after the break. You're watching KTSM 9 News, Small Town Spotlight.
All right, Borderland, let's go ahead and take a last look at your 9-day forecast. We're seeing triple-digit heat all the way up until Monday, where we do see some relief. Remember, we are under a heat advisory until Friday, so make sure you're staying hydrated, cool, and checking on your loved ones. Andy, Monica, it was definitely hot today, and it's only going to get hotter, but I mean, we're in a beautiful place, Sunset Parlor, so what more can you want?
I heard you learned how to breathe properly. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yoga?
Did yoga, did some breathing exercises, and it's all leading up to something that we're going to do in the 5 o'clock to stay cool.
Oh, I can't wait. You guys definitely want to stick around for that.
Yeah, speaking of which, KTSM 9 News Now is next. We'll see you.
Well, welcome back. If you thought Small Town Spotlight was over today, it isn't over just yet. Joining me now is Andy and Monica, who are live right now out at Sunset Heights for this special series of Small Town Spotlight. So, Monica, Andy, how are things going out there?
Things are going good, Skylar. We actually had our Small Town Spotlights a little bit earlier this week. It actually aired during our 4 o'clock newscast. Learned a lot about the history of the Sunset Heights neighborhood, a lot about the artwork, everything that kind of goes in what's made this neighborhood very unique to El Paso.
Absolutely, and we have a very special treat for you guys today. We're joined by the talented Hal Marcus. And Mr. Marcus, you're telling us you're about to unveil a very unique and special piece of artwork.
Yeah, for the past 3 or 4 months I've been working on this piece. I haven't done anything this large in probably 4 years, and it's called Elevate El Paso. And I'm really excited about just spontaneously you guys decided to do your thing here. Found out about a week ago.
Timing was perfect.
So I signed it, and here we are. And I guess we're ready for a little drum roll. Is that it?
Let's
all right, we got it down here.
Build the anticipation.
Wow. So you said
awesome.
that it highlights a lot of the unique aspects of El Paso.
Yeah. So, you know,
you see the Crest building there, and there's
situated how we are. If you look out the window there, you see St. Patrick's Church.
Okay.
So every 15 minutes I hear the bells from St. Patrick's Church.
Yeah.
So it's right in the center here. We have the community college, we have the West Star, We have the train station, the Paso del Norte, the Plaza Hotel, the Plaza Theater, Our Lady of Guadalupe, of course the X and the freeway and the Cresses. There's probably about 50 different landmarks in this.
Of course, a beautiful star in the mountain.
The star in the mountain, the sun shines. So I'm very proud of it
up there.
Yeah.
And what's happening here is there's a couple getting married. So it's about love and peace, and all their friends are around, and they got the getaway card that says "just married." So, and it's to elevate El Paso. Sometimes we have a little bit of an identity crisis of who we are, but it's very beautiful here on the border. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. There's a wedding going on. We got the Plaza de los Lagartos.
The Christmas tree lighting. I love
Oh yeah, there you go. What was kind of the inspiration behind this? Why did you decide to go with this?
Well,
and I imagine us being where we are here at the parlor, of course, you're the owner along with your daughter. What was the inspiration?
Well, the inspiration is that I wanted to elevate El Paso so that people can really appreciate all these beautiful landmarks in one painting. Wow. We also have prints that are available, through the gallery. And I just wanted to make an impact with something very large, very inspirational, because we have a very unique culture. And here I've got a poetic, artistic interpretation. If we look out over the city from where we're situated, I can see Waco Tanks, I can see Juarez, I can see all the churches, I can see Cathedral High School, the Women's Club, El Paso High, everything from here. So outside of my window, this is what I see. So that's why I wanted to make something large, so it was a large impact for whoever sees it, they'll never forget.
I love it. I'm never going to forget it for sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Marcus.
Thank you for inviting me.
We got one last look at your forecast coming up after the break. Thank you for tuning in to KTSN 9 News Small Town Spotlight.